this topic has been itching a lot of people. As you can imagine, as a woman, you have to be on all the areas where there's motion. As this is Kenyan for gossip, and we've been struggling with this question: why are people being snatched? Why are wives and husbands being snatched just like that? A grown man, a grown woman suddenly is snatched away, and then we have problems. People crying, people, people suffering. People are being stolen out there. Have you known? And some are still in the process of being stolen. Some are being planned to be stolen now. There is a pandemic out there, so I decided we better talk about it, because even yesterday I posted it on my Facebook. And Sawadi Fisher, I know you're looking, because this topic, I want to hear your views as well. This is something we have to deal with. We want to clear the ground. We have 1 hour to have answers to this question. Can a man and a woman, or a woman, be stolen? A grown woman, a grown man, can they be stolen? Can someone steal them? Because I'm in several groups, and every other day the story is coming up. So and so has stolen my husband. So and so has stolen my wife. Now, and is it an African pandemic or what? Guys, you have to help me to have answers to this one now. You have to help me, because we are having a problem. Wives and husbands are being stolen there like nothing. Just like that. I don't know if people use baskets, or they carry them on the back, or they take wheelbarrows like the hustlers in Kenya. They go and steal the man and the woman wherever and take them somewhere where they cannot be found again, or some they stay there, some they come back. I don't know. We have to talk about this. And first of all, the question is, can they be stolen? That is the big question. Secondly, if yes, who is to blame? We need answers. Who is to blame? Dorcas Musao, you are looking. You're welcome. Vanessa Magiri, you're welcome. Tell us now. I want to hear. All of you are women here. Tell me, can a man or can a woman be stolen? And if yes, who is to blame? People. The stolen or the stolen one? Who is? It's like a pandemic. I tell you, in every group now I'm hearing this, until I'm like, oh goodness, we better take care now. I think those who do with insurances, you better think of an insurance to insure our men or women to not be stolen, so that you get at least a refund if he is stolen and he stays where he was stolen to. Or she, wherever, whatever. I mean, it's a pandemic. People, I don't know if you've heard about it. I want to hear your views. And again, this is Aggi's Live Talk Show on Radio RFM. We are based in Stuttgart, Germany. You can find us on many, many places, or many spaces online. You can find us on Facebook as Radio RFM. You can find us on Instagram as Radio R99.2 FM. You can find us on Twitter, should we say Twitter or Twitter? You can find us there as well. You can find us as Radio RFM on Twitter. You can find us on Snapchat. You can find us on TikTok. We even TikTok. Guys, let's talk about this issue. If you can, tell your friends. We need to find a solution to this, because otherwise all women and men will be stolen from their own owners. First of all, can you own somebody? I have so many questions in this topic. I don't know if 1 hour will be enough for us to deal with this topic, because it's becoming a pandemic. Hey, can you imagine? Just the last week, we've had like 2 or 3 cases where women are, some people are complaining. Hey, you took my husband, you took this, you did this. And I'm like, where did they take him to? Where? And others, you've heard of cases where women even are really getting so mad they will go and burn the other woman with hot water, or go and do catastrophe, as we say in German. Rakjo, you're looking, I'm sure you're in Kenya right now. Greetings over there in my motherland. Vanessa Magiri, thank you for the stuff idea. Tell us, what is your answer to this? What is your view to this? Can a man or a woman be stolen? So the issue is, if a man is to be stolen, I mean, first of all, can you secure someone from being stolen? First of all, can you secure anyone from being stolen? A whole grown man or a whole grown woman, how can you secure someone from being stolen? I think in a relationship, if you're in a relationship and you love somebody and you care about somebody, you'll not let yourself be stolen just like that. You're not a basket somewhere on the streets that you're going to be stolen just like that. Me, I believe if you get stolen, you have agreed to be stolen. First of all, I think this is so important for people to understand. You cannot steal a grown-up person just like that. If a person is stolen, he has agreed. First of all, he has agreed to be stolen. Maybe he even put himself out there and said, steal me. I'm here. I'm available. Let's say maybe he went to club. He gave himself that special look. He went maybe not even in the club. Some people are stolen even in the supermarket, just buying milk for the family. They have their wedding, their ring on. They have a lot of things on to show that they are belonging to somebody. Joseph Lesioloi, I'm greeting you up there in Laisamis in Kenya. Greetings. And they go out there, they're dressed. You can see they're showing signs that they are taken, but still they will be open to be stolen. They give other signs also to be stolen. So actually, they cannot be stolen without them giving the allowance, the permission to be stolen. This is one thing we have to realize, because I don't find it mature if a woman or a man goes and starts beating the other one or burning them with water or even killing or whatever. We've had a lot of crazy stories. Or even, I don't know, attacking the other partner, the person who stole your person. First of all, ask your person, why did you let yourself be stolen? What happened? First of all, check at home if you have given what needs to be given. I don't know, everybody has. I will not tell you give your husband this or give your wife this, because every person has different needs. Every family has its own needs. Every wife has her own needs that only the husband should know, and only the husband should be giving the needs or taking care of those needs. Every husband also has his own needs, and only his wife should know how to take care of those needs. So if this man or that woman goes out there and gives some signs out there that he could be possibly available to be stolen, someone is going to take the opportunity. If you go and put your things out there on the market, let's take for example in our Africa, you go and tandika, or you put something on the streets, and spread them there. People get the message even without you saying come and buy. People get the sign already. These things are there to be bought. The only thing they will ask is, how much is this thing costing, or how much is this whatever costing? How much do I need to pay to get that commodity? So there is always the involvement of the one being stolen. He cannot be stolen just like that. That's why I thought we have to talk about this, because some people always assume it's the fault of the stealing one. It's not the fault of the stealing one alone. Both, of course, are to blame. I mean, it's not, if you let yourself be stolen, a human being is not like a sack of potatoes on the streets, It's not like someone will come and just carry you off and you can't say anything or you can't do anything about it. It is not about, you're not a sack of potatoes. You're not, like you say, where's 𝗔𝗗𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗧𝗦? I mean, you cannot be carried just like that, off like that, as if you're a commodity. You have to agree to it. This should get into our brains that sometimes, and especially as women, we are very good at making noises to the women who steal our men. As I talk, I have some experiences, not of stealing, but whatever. But still, I don't blame the woman alone who stole that person. I don't blame them alone, because it is actually not the woman's fault alone. The other person, the stealing, the thief. The thief is not alone to be blamed, because we are dealing here with a human being, a grown-up. He let himself be stolen. He or she. So you cannot only put the blame on the other person. Let's say it's a family. Okay, it may be a family. You already have children. You have everything. And you think when someone sees that, they will respect that. Some people are out there to get what they want for themselves. They don't care whether you have kids, whether you have 1, 2, 3, or 10 children. They don't care. Some people don't care. They just see an opportunity. They'll snap to it. They'll get into it and get in action and try to get whatever is being presented to be stolen. So the bottom line is still, it cannot be stolen. She cannot be stolen if she did not give some green lights here and there. Maybe some signals. Maybe not a full green light, but some signals somewhere, somehow. Tabitha, Oma, say something. Yeah, say something. Peace Benz, say something. Can a man or a woman be stolen? Can someone be stolen without wanting to be stolen? Is it possible? Can we steal somebody just like that? I don't think it's possible. I do not think it's possible to be stolen if you're not willing. You have to give some signs that you want to be stolen. You have to give some signs that you want some adventure out there. So when something like that happens, it is not only one person to be blamed. Even Canida Richards. What are you saying, eh? Would you like to be stolen? Are you the market to be stolen? Huh? Our men, they are not there because they are the main people who get stolen. I hear. I don't know if women get stolen, but men, if you see the fights that are out there sometimes, women fighting for one man, fighting, trying to get him back. What is Masi Kariuki? You're welcome. Murithi Mwaniki, you're welcome. You're welcome. Tell me, people, you have to tell me if it's possible for a human being to be stolen, a man or a woman. Whether you're married 10 years, you're staying together for 20 years, 40 years, this can happen to anybody. Let me tell you that no one is immune to this. Because some people think, we're married for 10 years, 30 years, 40 years. The thief can come anytime, like the Bible says. The thief can come anytime. Tabitha, you're saying human beings have become so wild, they no longer care about anyone's emotions as long as they are fine themselves. Yeah, selfishness. That is also one thing that I think is a big problem, as you say, Tabitha Oma. It's so rampant these days. No one cares. We have become very self-centered, self-oriented. And that's why I was saying, if someone goes out there and thinks, I would just want to have fun, and then they'll present themselves, they know back home they have a family, they know back home they have a man or a woman waiting for them, trying to be loyal to them, but just because they have that kick, they want some adventure. So they will get into such situations just to have fun. Morevi, you're saying, hey, yes, you can be stolen without your knowledge. Really? Now, Morevi Maniki, that's a joke. I think it's a joke, or not? It's a joke. How can you be stolen without your knowledge? How? Now, that one is new. I don't think you can be stolen without knowing that you're being stolen. I don't think so, unless there is juju in the game. But is juju even real? I mean, like, how will someone confuse you and you are being stolen just like that, and suddenly you find yourself in someone else's bed without knowing? I don't think it is possible. Moniki, you are lying to us. Tell us the truth. I don't think it's possible. I think if you get stolen, you know exactly that you're getting stolen, and you're in part of the game, either because it's an adrenaline kick, or it's because an adventure, or you think you cannot be caught, or you think you're so good, you're so treacherous, you can hide, or maybe you have an agreement with your partner, never look into my phone because this is private, this is my life. So you feel so secure, you feel so safe, and you feel you cannot be caught anyway. But one thing people forget sometimes, there can be some accidents, disease, children who are not planned for. You go there, you wanted only some fun, and then suddenly a human being comes out of the fun and the adventure, and then now big problems start, because that child has to be fed, the child has to be clothed, that child needs to know the other parent someday, somehow, and it cannot be kept secret forever. So if you are stolen only for a few hours and suddenly a human being comes out of it, remember, even if it doesn't come out when you are alive, when you die, we know these stories in Africa that suddenly someone is being buried and a whole convoy of women and children are coming up to say, he was my husband too, she was my father, he was my wife. It doesn't happen so much. It happens more in Africa to the men because of inheritance issues and blah, blah, all these other things that connect with it. But the stealing is always a very aware. You are aware that you're being stolen. I don't know. You guys, Moniki, you have to convince me that you can be stolen unaware. I am not convinced. I need to know how that works, that you can be stolen without knowing. I don't know if you can be stolen without knowing. It's serious, The sad thing is the disrespect that come with it being stolen, not a problem. Okay, this is Eileen Malina. You're saying, yeah, the problem is, of course, there's always a shame that comes with it. But who is being ashamed here? Is it the woman or the man, the stealing person or the stolen person? Who gets the shame? I don't know. I would not even take it as a shame for me. If someone gets stolen, I think the person should carry the shame himself for running out, like like you cannot always stop people from being stolen, but the repercussions that come from it, I think I went away. The things that come, of course, the shame, the children, they also get embarrassed. I think the children suffer more than anything else because they don't understand the world anymore. When a third person or a fourth person, a fifth person comes in, maybe children are involved that come into from the being stolen thing, or maybe it's a second family, maybe it's a third family. I was watching a movie the other day and this guy also made it a game. He was like having different families all over. He really enjoyed being stolen. He was doing it willingly, and suddenly, but the thing came out only when he died. Suddenly, others came claiming also to go and bury him, and then there was some issues because now the woman who thought she's the only one, she was shocked. She didn't know how to deal with the whole situation. Being stolen, it can be adventurous, but being stolen is also, it has a lot of adverse results. So when we are having the adventure, when we are having the fun, remember that someone could have to suffer the consequences. Someone could have to pay for the consequences of what happens after that, of being stolen. The other thing is the disease. There can be diseases that you may not be able to keep for yourself because you don't keep them for you alone. Especially those guys who like to be stolen and they go there without even using the gumboots. I'm not going to call them what you call them, but yeah. Yeah. Eileen Maina, you're saying disrespect from someone who stole from you. I mean, not getting embarrassed. It's how someone got guts to call, text you, and brag how they took your partner. Now that is painful. That is really painful. That is painful. And I don't understand people who do that, why they do that to the person who has been cheated, who has lost actually a trust and everything. I don't understand why people do that. I think the people who do that, this type of disrespect, they are sick in themselves. They have some psychological problems they need to deal with. Because, I mean, it's bad enough that you destroy a relationship. It's bad enough that you steal, but to go and embarrass and disrespect the person who was there before you, it's like you're forgetting that you could also, what happened to that person before you could happen to you as well. So some people forget that, and then they continue, go ahead. I have heard of cases, oh yes, some women are terrible. Some men even also, they forget that. Even if you stole, and you're feeling like, oh, I'm the in woman now because he left her for me. I am the in person now because, I'm more beautiful than her and I'm more handsome than him, blah, blah. I'm younger than this person. This disrespect, they forget that it can happen to them as well because they also will age, because they also will look different, because something somewhere can happen, and then they are the ones crying because the same person who allowed himself to be stolen by you can allow, because it's like a behavior, it's a character trait, can allow himself or herself to be stolen by somebody else again from you. So you forget that you are not the queen over the situation or over this person. You don't own the person. You don't own the person, so you don't have control over everything. We forget that, or people forget that, which is sad actually, because, I mean, like, why even would someone go and start insulting the person who was there before? You forget so much. And I'm talking to the women who like to do this. You may think you're so special. You may forget that that woman who you're insulting, you could be that woman in the next year, in the next days, in the next 10 years, it can happen. Not right away, it can be a bit later, but it can happen. So don't forget it can happen to you as well. It can happen anytime. Don't forget that. You may be pretty now. You may be very handsome now. You have no gray hairs, but the other woman has. And you may be maybe slim and all that. But remember, you may get together with that person. You get pregnant. You get the hormones play their game and you lose shape as well. And then he will start to go out and look for someone who is looking more fresh and more slim than you are. So it can happen. The thing that happened to the person before you can happen to you. And I'm talking to the men as well. Don't think you're safer than the other person who was ditched before you, or who you stole that person from. We should not forget in our arrogance. But sometimes it's like a sickness we have. We try, and I'm not talking now just like a pastor or like someone who is a Christian or believer or whatever. I'm talking as a human to human. It can happen to any one of us. It can happen anytime. It can happen that you just wake up the next day and the person you stole has been stolen again, because some people, they are chronic cheaters. They're chronic. They like to be stolen. For them, it's like a kick. It's like they get bored very easily in relationships. So you don't know what type of a person you got involved with. You don't know what type of a person you got even into the game with. You don't know. Sometimes it's just, maybe you met him in the club, you met him in supermarket, you met him wherever. And it can be, this is someone who cannot tie himself down. Whether it's a woman or a man, and I'm not calling anyone a prostitute, because being adventurous doesn't mean that you are a prostitute. But this person could be someone who doesn't like being tied to a family life, doesn't like being tied to one person. So this person is promiscuous and likes the adventure of changing partners like every other day. So you may steal that person and think, oh, I landed the deal of my life, only to be discouraged and also put in the same situation because that person will let himself or herself be stolen again. So we have to be very sensitive when we start like quarreling the people, disrespecting the people in such situations. It's very, very, very immature, I would say so. I'm sorry if I step on your toes, but it's just the reality. I mean, like, if you steal and go eat your property in peace. Go carry your luggage on your own, go and enjoy, but leave the others in peace. Don't go insulting them. Don't teach your children, if you end up having children with a person, don't teach your children to disrespect the children of the other partner who was left, who you stole from, actually, And I'm not putting the blame on the person being stolen alone. The blame is always on both persons. And I will not start saying, like sometimes you hear, I've heard it, it's very, very common that you hear some women say, oh, yeah, she was not looking nice anymore. She did not take care of herself anymore. She's not, or he doesn't wear nice clothes anymore. He doesn't take her out anymore. You don't know the situation they are in. You don't know the situation this person is in. Maybe it's a woman, okay, she had time in the world before the children came to take care of herself and all that. And then the children come and you have no house girl, you have no one to help. So you're struggling to keep everything functioning and you really don't have the time to go sit 6 hours in the salon to do your hair. So, but that doesn't give anyone a right to come and destroy your relationship just because you don't look sexy anymore. You can do it, you can try it. And then I think, if it is the reason what the person wants to go out and be stolen, let him talk to the partner, tell the person, or give them, here in Germany, we have something we call Gutschein. A voucher, I think it's a voucher, something like that. You can go and pay some money in a shop and then you give that as a present to the person and then they can go and get what you would like them to have, like, or even buy them a voucher for salon, or you can buy for something to help that person, to give them a tip somehow, or you would like them to be more fresh, more fit, whatever. Instead of now, looking at the person and say, oh, look now, she got 1, 2, 3 children. I don't find her sexy anymore. So I have a right, in quotes, to let myself be stolen, You have no right. because you can help that your partner to get to that level what you want. You have at least to try before you start jumping out there, spreading your seeds and spreading your whatever's out there. You know, you can help your partner if you really care. You don't have, there's no reason, actually. You can help. And if it doesn't work, then leave. Then make it clear, make a clear cut move. Instead of hurting someone's feeling, then just cut off and say, okay, it's not working anymore, let's call it quits, but not playing these hide and seek games. And then we have the issue of those who are secretly polygamous in their way of thinking. They are polygamous. It's not the issue of stealing. They just like to have one or two or more women on the side. I don't know of women. Women normally they don't have that so much of this polygamy, polyandry. They don't practice that so much like the men. Then be honest from the beginning. We had that topic recently on Facebook as well, where someone was very open about he can't stay without more women. So I said, okay, then it's your way of living. This is what you would like to live like. Tell your partner from the very beginning. I say, Amia, I cannot stay with you alone. Yeah, I will have to have one or two more women beside you, so that or more men beside you, because there are also some women who cannot stay with one partner. I'm not making any judgments. Everybody to his own. Yeah, mambo ya Mungu, you will discuss with God on your own, or you will live your life on your own. I don't know. I don't want to carry people's burdens. But be honest, for God's sake. Be honest from the very beginning. If you know you are someone who likes the adventure of being stolen here and there, and then again and again, then tell your partner from the beginning, hey, I like to live an open relationship. I like to live with, I don't know, once in a while do this or that, you know, but not pretend to be the Holy Moses in a relationship. You get someone into a relationship who believes in a one partner relationship, and then you start doing your things here and there. Just be open from the beginning. I know there are so many people, so many things. I didn't know that. I came to know some of the things much later in life. I did not even think some things exist. But now I know that things exist that I didn't know. Especially even for married people who are in family and whatever. Yeah, I know my internet is not so good. So guys, I'm so sorry. Those in Facebook who cannot see me well or hear what I'm doing, maybe later I'll post it and then you can listen to it. So I'm talking about those people who like to hide who they are, and then they get in a relationship and they are pretending to be who they are not. You know you cannot live with one partner the rest of your life. Then tell the person. Or you don't intend to live with one person. Tell the person at the beginning. I think for now, I'm so in love with you. For now, I really want to be with you. But later, I may want to have another man or another woman. Tell that person. Don't make the person believe this is for life. And then later you go sleeping around. Later you go taking this and that one. Being stolen and stealing. You know, be honest from the very beginning. Yes, you can be stolen, but you can also stop people from stealing you. I don't believe anyone can be stolen just like that. You're not a pen. You're not a book like this. You're not a phone which can be taken and it cannot protect itself. You're not a luggage. You're not a sack of potatoes somewhere. You're a human being. You can say yes or no. You can agree to it or refuse to agree to it. So there's nothing like being stolen. I don't believe in this fact. There's a time I also believed that, and I honestly, it's a very painful experience. It's a very painful experience for the person whose partner is taken away, especially if you are someone who believed it is for life. If you are a person who believed it is you and that person for life. So it can be a very, very traumatizing relationship situation to realize, oops, I was not alone in this whole thing. We are 2, we are 3, we are 4. Or someone likes to steal once in a while or be stolen once in a while. It's painful. If one person was believing it is a loyal game, you know, from both sides, So people, let's learn to be honest. Don't go there telling people, I could not avoid it. It just happened. Did that thing jump out of your trouser on its own? Huh? And sometimes, I mean, like a case where you hear someone went to someone's house. I mean, did someone carry you, drag you, and carry you to that person's house? Or even if you met in the hotel, did someone force you, put you like a cow on a rope, tie you and pull you to the, I mean, in case of rape is a different case. That's really, and I'm sorry for anyone who gets raped. That's the worst traumatizing experience a woman or a man can experience, to have someone force you into sexual actions without your consent. That is the worst. And if anyone is listening who has ever done that, you better go and say sorry to that person and really stop that behavior. It's the worst you can do to a person. But there are those who will agree, they'll go for a date, they will go and eat with that person, they will go and get presents from that person, and then later they say, I don't know how it happened, it just happened, and I found myself stolen, you know. I could not do anything about it. You could have kept that thing underwear on. You could have kept that boxer on. You could have said no. I mean, I just wanted to drink coffee with you. Or even if you had intentions and you found, you realized what you wanted to do was not right, to doing right to the other partner, you could tell the person, even to the last minute, you can say, you can cancel and say, no, we're not going to do it because I think it's not fitting to the agreement I had with my partner. No one, Mwaniki, I'm telling you, and I don't believe, you have to prove to me. You cannot, no one can be stolen without his knowledge or her knowledge. I don't believe that. Unless you're dragged, someone dragged you, put a drag on in your drink or in your food, and you are not in your real senses. Maybe you are, I don't know, in a coma. I mean, there are cases where people get raped, but that's rape then. That's rape, that's a criminal act. Rape is not something that just happens. Rape is criminal. I know there are some places where it's taken as if it's a manly thing. I don't know if there are women who rape men, but if there are, it's also ugly and it is wrong and it is illegal and it is criminal. But being stolen, there's nothing like being stolen. You agree to be stolen. You go with the person. You walk with the person. You go eat with the person. You go and agree. You write to each other. It is a conscious thing. It's something that you do willingly and knowingly. So for us women, when we find our men are going with another woman, please let's stop blaming only the woman. The woman may have had interest. Maybe she saw how nice the car is where your husband is driving, and she thought, oh, I want that car also for myself. Why should Agnes sit on that car alone? I also want that car. But it is also that woman may try to entice the man, your man, but the man has the responsibility to say no. So if it cannot be that Agnes comes and does everything and the man goes like a condor, a sheep. I mean, it doesn't work like that. The man has to agree to it. And if the man agreed to it, then they are both to blame, not just the woman to blame who came from. I know we get so bitter, we get so mad, we get so annoyed, and we get very revengeful when we think of that bad woman who took our husband, who took this son. But they are both to blame, the man and the woman, the stealer or the thief and the one being stolen. They are both to because the actions that start and follow up and lead up to that stealing action is all contemplative. They thought about it. They planned it. They looked for ways to actualize the whole meeting to make it possible for the stealing process and to enjoy the fruits of the stealing, you know. So you would not fare if you blame one party in that, unless there was rape involved, unless there was dragging involved, unless there was torture or kidnapping, which In many cases, there is nothing like that. If you follow the phones, if you follow the emails, if you follow the story behind, you'll find that it's contemplative. It's both parties who did the stealing. Actually, both of them, they stole each other because, I mean, they agreed to it. You cannot blame one person. It cannot happen that you blame one person. It doesn't work like that, you know? So while we are being stolen and stealing each other, it's on a mutual consent. It is something that we agree both, the one being stolen and whatever. So if you're going to start a fight, then start with both. Call them and fight both of them. Call them and tell them, you people, you have done wrong to me, but don't go insulting another woman or insulting another man, trying to fight the other man or the stealer, the thief. It doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't bring any honor to you, because it involved both parties. They are the ones who wrote to each other. They are the ones who called each other. They agreed to meet somewhere for coffee or wherever. They agreed to go to a hotel somewhere. They agreed maybe to go for holidays together. Both of them. Don't ever blame one person in such a case. So yes, a man can be stolen, a woman can be stolen, but on an agreement. It has to be on agreement. Both of them. There is no one man or woman who is stolen without her knowledge. Mwaniki, nimekata. I have refused. This one cannot work. This one cannot happen. And the other thing is, actually, what I find very sad, I mean, there's a lot of pain involved, especially when one person was really trying to be loyal, taking the whole situation serious, and trying to make it work for both. And then it doesn't work. And the other person who was stolen is permanently stolen. It was not a temporary thing. That one is a lot of tears. Then the stealing is complete. It was not temporary now. I mean, some of them, sometimes they can be forgiven, and they come back and they apologize, if it's true or not. I mean, remember what I said? There are those who are chronicle thieves and the ones who like to be stolen once in a while. But there are those ones who, I don't know what happened, and they realize, oh my goodness, actually I made a big mistake and I want to go back to my family, or my girlfriend or my boyfriend. It doesn't have to be married people who are stolen. It can be also just people who are dating, can be people who just got to know each other. I've heard of best friends stealing, you know, like you are excited, you found your man, your woman, you introduce her to the best friend, and the best friend thinks, oh, that one I would like to have too. And before even you say hi, the best friend has snatched the person away. In that case, you cannot do anything. So if it's permanent, if it's not something you can change, I beg, just try to move on. Try to move on. If that person has been stolen, in quotes, she has agreed to be stolen, and she is not willing to listen to you asking for that he forgives or they change and come back to you, please let go. Let go. We've had cases of stalking. We've had cases of people going and burning others with acids. We have had cases of people doing evil things to the other person just because they don't want to come back from the stealing person. Just leave them. Leave them. You are a grown-up. You are a handsome person. If that person had fallen in love with you, somebody else will fall in love with you. I promise you. On this planet, there's always someone who is going to fall in love with you. But don't stick there like if you are forced, like if you are Siamese twins, that you cannot be separated. Of course it pains. Of course it's painful. It's so painful. It's so painful, especially if the relationship has been destroyed by someone you love, or someone you know, or someone from your family. We've had cases of sisters even snatching the husband of their sisters away, or other way around, the brothers. You know, it happens. All these things are not far-fetched. They happen. As much as painful as it is, please find the strength to move on. First of all, allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to heal. Don't rush into the next relationship. Allow your heart to heal, because that's so painful, especially if it's someone you loved, someone who was close to you, someone you used to, like us women, You know, I don't know about men. As women, if your husband the other day did something wrong, we run to our girlfriends, best friends. My husband did this, my husband did. This person who you're telling these secrets is the one who is going to dig your grave. As women, first of all, you have to be careful who you're telling your story. Yeah? The snatcher is the one who is right there as your handbag. She knows all the stories, the secrets. I don't know about men. Men maybe don't do this. But as women, we can't even keep quiet. If my husband didn't bring milk home yesterday, I'll go tell my best friend. And my best friend knows you are giving the weapons to that woman to go and snatch that person away, please. And if it happens that best friend took your handbag, the man, away, and it happened and you cannot get him back, please forgive. Don't go burning that woman with water, hot water, because it will not help you. You will even end up landing in jail for no reason. Then you miss the chance of being loved again, loving again, working. You lose a lot. Women, please. If someone fell in love with you before, that man or woman, someone else will fall in love with you. Don't agree to feel like this is the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. No, it's not. So some of them, people get sick, people get depressed, people don't come out of their house anymore. Some even commit suicide. For what? My friend, that is good riddance. If someone really decides, I want to be stolen, and they are stolen and they go for good, leave them. They were not meant for you. They were meant maybe for that person. Whether they are good fit or bad fit, it's none of your business anymore. Leave them. Let them go and find their own problems ahead. Whatever happens, it should not be your business anymore. And we have to learn to let go. I'm pleading with you, wherever you are, if you have been left, if someone stole, let them go and enjoy their goods together. The thief and the one being stolen, the goods, let them go and enjoy it together. Whatever happens ahead, maybe God has saved you from something very serious that could have happened ahead. You never know. So sometimes it's not good to keep hanging there and trying to get the man back by force, trying to stalk the person. I've seen of people going, even following the car, putting this GPS on the car to track where the man is driving to, when he's driving to the new girlfriend. For what? Why put all this energy on something like that? That man is not yours anymore. He's not worth your attention. Leave it. Or that woman. Even men do this sometimes. I've seen that sometimes. And it's not worth it. If someone has been stolen for good, let it go. Look for another one. The market is big. Don't believe the lie that there's only too many women and a few men. There's always someone for somebody. There are men who decide never to marry. So those ones, it doesn't matter. There are women also who decide not to marry or not to have a partner. So there's always enough. I believe there's always enough for everybody. So don't believe and start mourning and start walking with sackcloth and ashes on the head because now you've been left, and because now someone has stolen your baby. You have no one to call honey and sweetheart and darling anymore. You're so down. You're lost. You feel like, the world is gone down under and all that. Is not the end of the world. Life goes on. I wrote recently on my Facebook and people were laughing because I said I'm talking to you. Let yourself be loved. Some of us, we are so deep into mourning the past, guys and ladies. We don't even see the beautiful ones looking at us saying like, love me, love me, love me. We don't see them anymore because our eyes are blocked by the past. We don't see them. We don't feel them. We don't hear them. We're so deep down because my handkerchief, my handbag got stolen, My friend, if she got stolen, then she was not yours. Let the person have that person and you move ahead. And I hope really you can promise you wherever you are that you're going to do that, because you will be wasting your time sitting there mourning for that person. Yeah. If a person is dead is another thing. You can mourn, but also not forever. Then death has snatched them, and death, you cannot fight with death anyway. Then let go. You mourn and then you try to heal and move on. Try to let somebody else love you. Don't refuse and reject love because of the past. What happened? People are not the same. You may even You may even find someone who loves you so well, and you start being thankful that he was stolen or she was stolen. You thank God. You thank God for the thief. You know. So you never know. There can be luck. Germans say Glück in Unglück. Like it was something bad that was happening to you. Maybe someone snatched him because of a car, or because of the house you have, or because of whatever. And then you go and find out, your life now is even much better. You're more free. You can achieve this. You can achieve that. You get a partner who loves you and treats you like a queen or a king. And you're like, oh my God, where was she? Where was he all these years? But if you're just sitting there moaning, trying to stalk the other person, you may never experience your own life again. You will be living and talking about the person who already stolen. Is not yours anymore. That person has agreed to be stolen. Leave that person alone. Let them carry their problems with themselves. You never know. Maybe that person is someone who is a chronic cheat. He can never be committed. This person may be even someone who could have brought you sickness, and you don't know what God has saved you from. This person maybe would not have been a good father or a good mother to your children. You never know. Or that person was just not compatible to your life's dreams. Maybe that person was not even meant in the first place to be yours. Maybe you snatched that person in a very unsuitable situation. Maybe circumstances made you to come together, and you were not meant by fate to be together, by nature to be together. Maybe your destiny was not that person. So please, when they decide to be stolen, let go. Let go. Heal and move on. Let go, heal, and move on. If this person is remorseful and realizes, oops, I made a mistake, and you are a person who can forgive, this one is your decision. I cannot decide for you. This one, I always keep my hands off, because some people have let some people back into their lives and they have finished them completely. It has happened. We know it has happened. And some others have forgiven and accepted and made compromises, and things have worked very well afterwards. So it's everyone's own decision how they want to continue after the person had made a mistake, had been stolen, and had come back and apologized or asked for forgiveness. This is for every person to decide for themselves on their own. I cannot decide for you. I cannot. Petinila, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining. So it is not that easy, but you guys, you have to decide on your own. What do I want to carry? Do I want to waste my time on someone who, like a handbag, allowed someone to steal them? A woman or man, it doesn't matter. It can happen to both sides. Am I going to waste my energy? Am I going to waste my time mourning someone who doesn't even think about me anymore? Someone who is willing to hurt me that bad with my best friend, or with someone I knew or did not know, someone who could bring someone into the place I was staying. Those are things that you have to ask yourself. Be honest to yourself. Don't try to be extra strong for nothing. It will not help you in any way. It will just make you more sad. And let's learn also, in case you realize, and this is really from me to you, if you realize that you're not that person who can heal on your own, get help. Go do a therapy. Recover, heal so you can find out what type of a person is meant for you. So that the next time you fall in love or you allow someone into your life, it is someone who will not end up hurting you. Although there are no guarantees, human beings are very complicated. Oh my goodness. There are stories out there that I cannot say anything. I asked this question, like, if you find out that your best friend took your partner, what would you do? And some said, oh, good riddance, then cancel both relationships. I would do that. And I have done that in the past for my own healing. Because I value my healing. I value my health, spiritually, psychologically, physically. I value that. I didn't always do that, but now I do. So if I realize someone is cheeky and is not really caring about my feelings and all that, why should I tolerate such behaviors around me? I don't have to. Even if the religion I believe in says forgiven, then you continue. I don't think it is worth it, so that at the end you're depressed and everything. Just move on. If you can forgive and take the person back with no guarantees, don't say Agnes told you to take back the cheating person or the person who was stolen. Don't go saying it's Agnes who told you. This is your decision. It can go good or it can backfire and you're finished for good. You know, I've had stories of where someone took someone back and that person just created more chaos and finished that person. Some even end up killing the partners and all that. So, and some, they apologize, they come back and they try their best and it works. So everyone has to make their own decision. I cannot make a decision for you. This is very, very personal issue. You know what type of a person you are. You know how much you can take. You know how much you're willing to let your soul carry. Because a soul, that's you. This is so deep. This is something that you cannot say someone told me to do this or that. You have to listen to your soul. You have to listen to what is good for you. And then in a relationship anyway, because in a relationship is like, especially at the beginning when you're in love, you're always trying to please each other. You do the things that the other person likes because you want that person to feel at home and all that. But when you start staying together, when you get serious, we forget that and we start showing the true colors. If you see the red flags, my friend, don't wait until you tie the knot. Don't wait until it's a way of no return, which I don't believe anyway. You can turn back anytime. Anytime. Even after 50 years of marriage, you can turn back if you realize you're getting sick in that relationship. Sorry if you think different. I don't mind it. Really, everyone has his own opinion, but that's my opinion. Intuition, I would say in German. In between, I mean, as of now, what I realize, because there are so many people who are sick in their relationships, and they're not let that person be stolen. Therefore, they got that person like, I don't know what, but that is their own soup to eat and drink and take. For me, I think it is important that you keep yourself safe, no matter what. If a person has been stolen and that person is apologetic and comes back and asks for forgiveness, if you're that type of a person who can forgive and take the person back, do that, but there are no guarantees. If it works, well and good. If you realize you've taken him back or her back and it's still not working, then step out of that thing, because then it becomes toxic, poisonous, and it can finish you. It can finish you psychologically, and also physically. It can finish you. Or that person can even get fed up and really embarrass you or put you under very, very, very tough situation. So whether it's a man or a woman, and I'm not talking about only, because I know even women, we are able of being stolen and also stealing. We are good. I'm not saying it's only the man. You know, sometimes in our African culture, we think it's only the men who do steal and all that, or is only. But even women, we are also experts. All of us, we can steal and we can be stolen. So. The question has been answered from my part. I don't know what you say. Mwaniki said you can be stolen without your knowledge. I refuse, and I believe you cannot be stolen unless you're drugged. You have been drugged, or someone, you are raped, or I don't know what, or something happened to you, or in a coma or whatever. But then that is criminal, and it is not right. No one can force someone to fall in love with them. You have to decide yourself. And that's a tricky situation anyway. So I don't think this can happen just like that. You have to allow it. The bottom line is no one can be stolen without knowing. If they get stolen, they agreed to it. They gave signs that they are ready and they're willing to be stolen. They went to places where it's possible. They allowed with the first SMS, with giving the number, with continuing the chatting or whatever, giving signs that they are willing, and then they get involved. No one ties you like a cow and a rope and pulls you into a lodging or whatever, unless there's a kidnapper. But that's another story, and that's criminal. And I hope none of us, my good people, would do that. But you never know. Humans are like humans. But as long as you're not kidnapped or dragged or raped or whatever, everything else is mutual. It's between someone being stolen and the stealing one. There was no force there. So, women, If your man has been stolen, stolen in quotes, as I say, he was part of the game. Don't blame the woman alone. And man, if your woman has been stolen, she agreed to it for whatever reasons. So don't blame only the man who came and stole and go after him, trying to kill him or whatever. It's the woman agreed to it. So it's a mutual consent. And also them, apart from that, as a grown-up, we live in a society where such things can happen. Then be mature and try to deal with it. Deal with your pain, deal with your situation, and move on. That is my message. Move on. Don't sit there and dwell on that, and don't let it destroy your life. Move on. Let God help you. As a Christian, you can pray. God can give you healing. As a Christian, you can fast about it too, and forgive if you can. Even if you don't get back to that person again, forgive so that you can move on. You forgive for your own healing. We forgive for our own healing. We don't forgive because that other person needs it. We forgive because we want to be healed. We don't want poison in our hearts. We don't want poison continuing in our souls. We want it out. We want it out there. We want, if someone stole, let them steal and keep the goods there, the person, man or woman or whoever. But we want to forgive for our own healing, so that if the person is stolen, then send everything, the negative energy, the effects of it. Don't get sick because of a human being, another human being. Please don't get sick. Don't get depressed because of another human being. Remember, there are many others who are willing to love you and value you and treat you even better than you've ever been treated. Only keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes and your heart open. Don't sell yourself just to anybody. Check if your energy and the person you are trying to get together with vibed. Like if it gets together, if it's really matching, if it's rhyming, and then you can have a good love life. You can have someone valuing you and treating you like a queen. And I wish you, all of you there, the kings and the queens, that you meet someone who will love you and treat you so well. And when it comes to the time of the chance of being stolen, that they will not let themselves be stolen just like that. And if they get stolen, let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Okay? We agree on that. I hope you agree on that. You cannot be stolen without your consent. And when you get stolen, then we will let you go. Remember that. If you get stolen, we will let you go. Stay stolen. No problem with that. Guys, this was Aggie's live talk show on the Radio RFM based in Stuttgart, Germany. If you still have questions about this, you can always ask on our radio page, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. You can ask questions, ask, and we will try to interact with you. And if you have any topic you would like us to deal with, let us know. We welcome you. This is your radio. It's not just ours alone. It's your radio. And I wish you a beautiful Monday evening and a beautiful, beautiful week. And let your partner not be stolen. If he's stolen, let him go. Bye-bye. Ciao. Adios.